Coven skins are back, and their return has caused no controversy at all. I can't believe we're at the point where now people are having digital wars over digital cosmetics, but here we are. This right here, this is exactly why leaks are a bad thing. None of this would have happened if the skins had just been revealed normally, but instead, because the prospect of one of them getting a legendary skin leaked early, the battle just went haywire. In an ideal world, sure, both groups would get their legendary. It's happened a couple times for events before, but I am getting so sick of this, man. Do voice your criticisms when it comes to League of Legends content. If we didn't and just ate up whatever Riot gave us all the time without a second thought to its quality, we just turn into Game Freak. But there's a big difference between voicing criticism and harassing developers, and this pattern is becoming pretty apparent. I'm sorry, but no, neither of these champions deserved a legendary. It was never promised it would even happen in the first place, and you are not entitled to a non-existent skin you thought would look nice for a champion you play. Oh, but my champion hasn't gotten a legendary skin yet, and they would be a perfect fit for this thematic I like. That's wonderful, and a valid point of view, one shared by the mains of the other half of the League of Legends roster. It's obviously a small minority, as I'm sure most Syndra and Nami players are sane as League players could be, and understand that what this small minority is doing is abhorrent and are probably embarrassed by it. But when that small minority is the one Riot listens to and is consistently loud and abrasive enough to make Riot cave in, you know what that does? Only encourages that kind of behavior to continue. Melina getting into MK11 and the ensuing aftermath of Jade stands for MK1 is proof enough of that concept.
A million souls cried out for my return.
It's just a goddamn mess. Oh yeah, the skins! We should probably talk about those, right? Well, let's start with Old God Mordekaiser. The first Old God to have an actual weapon separate from the rest of the character's body, and I'm not sure if that's a benefit or not. It looks kind of weird. The ult though looks like the Thousand Pierced Bear's initial teaser, so that pleases my inner Volibear fanboy. And that smile, that damn smile, is simultaneously the goofiest and creepiest part of the entire skin. But overall, I don't know, I can't help but feel like Project and Ashen Knight kind of blew any and all competition out of the water. Serviceable is the word I'd use. It looks pretty, the particle effects are lovely, and it makes him look as badass as you want any Mordekaiser skin to look. But that's just it. It feels more like another Mordekaiser skin rather than the full Old God reimagining past champions have gotten for this line. Still, it's decent. Sandstone is the best chroma, 7 out of 10. Coven Elise. I mentioned this in my Elise casual champion review, but one of the main issues that comes with making an Elise skin is that no matter what, it always has to be a spider. Flower spider, demon spider, mecha spider, flower spider, but worse. And this time around, yep, that's still a spider, but in this context, I think it actually works. We've seen numerous times the witches are able to transform into animals. This one just happens a bit more often. Her outfit, though, gives off the impression she isn't super important nor powerful. Compare this to Morgana or LeBlanc's over-the-top campiness for the higher-ranking witches. It really isn't here for Elise. Still, I think she can settle for being the dim goon of the bunch, and she's a really good fit for the line at that. Profane is the best chroma, 7 out of 10. Coven Neela. If I had a nickel for every universally good-natured champion to have their first post-launch skin make them completely evil, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that I've done this joke twice now, right? And this one's a bit confusing. Along with the amazing LOR exclusive Coven Janna, Neela also got a skin there, except it's Eclipse Knight. 2 separate skins of the same champion in the same universe. Shockingly, in the modern age of League lore, there's an actual explanation. It's character development. A Coven witch, believing she's destined for more beyond it, Neela betrays them and steals the power of an old god within her weapon and joins the Eclipse Knights. That's really goddamn cool, and as a whole, the skin's really goddamn cool. Taken a bit back by the fact that her splash art makes her look like gender-bent Kane, but whatever. It's been a long wait for Neela to finally get her first post-launch skin, and unlike the champion released only a few weeks before her, I think this time it was actually worth the wait. Obsidian is the best chroma, 8 out of 10. Coven Akali? Huh? What are you doing here? Why do you look like that? How is this even Coven at all? Did Riot have to meet some kind of bi-yearly Akali skin quota? Or surely she would have been a better fit for something like Street Demons? Is it just because Coven's an established and more marketable skin line? I have no idea. I got whiplash from confusion just looking at this skin. Destin is the best chroma, 4 out of 10. What the hell were they thinking? With the Prestige version, it's you know, that actually does look better than the original. It's somehow even less Coven. Coven Syndra. No matter what I say, Twitter's gonna come after me. I do want to make some important context here that a legendary Coven Syndra skin was never promised by Riot. It's a hypothetical idea made up by fans. One that was hyped up to such a degree people start to gaslight themselves into thinking it had to happen. Fellas, sometimes just because you want and ask for something to happen doesn't mean it will. Trust me, I know. Well, I don't agree in any capacity that she was entitled to a legendary. I will agree with you that as an epic, this kind of sucks. The costuming is strange, the color palette is all over the place, and the orbs look less like shrouds of darkness and more like severed Orn heads. You are well within your right to be upset the skin did not match your expectations, but if you really want to show Riot your disdain for what they did, don't harass the developers. Voice your criticisms calmly and just don't buy the skin. Voting with your wallet is a powerful thing, my friends. Pearl is the best chroma, 5 out of 10. Coven Nami. Now, I don't want to make it seem like I'm picking sides here. I'm sure if Syndra was the one who got the legendary, it would have been wonderful as well. But come on, you gotta admit this is cool. Nami finally did what Elise could only dream of and broke free from the shackles of her original character design. For the first time ever, she's not a mermaid. And you know, there's just something so awesome about removing a champion's core distinguishing feature, and yet they're still immediately recognizable. That silhouette is 100% Nami. And the Squidward dance, how could I forget the Squidward dance? That is amazing. Aside from the usual animation upgrades, I think legendaries are at their best when they completely reinvent the champion, and in that regard, Coven Nami is a rousing success. I will admit though, there's one weird thing about it. Nami's voice is usually very bubbly and adorable to match her normally very bubbly and adorable personality. So when that same voice actor and same vocal tone is trying to mimic a cult-worshipping death witch.
Hark, Mordekaiser! Thy wretched hold on me weakens with each sacrifice to my true patron, the Leviathan.
It's still kind of adorable. It's hard to take her seriously. Still, this is an awesome legendary and probably my favorite Coven skin to date. Pearl is the best chroma. That joke was not intentional, I promise. 9 out of 10. Overall, Coven's Return gets a 7 out of 10. A few of these are really awesome, but most of them are either the same old, or they make my brain explode. But those are my thoughts. What do you fellas think of Coven's Return? Again, you are well within your right to be upset about something you had been anticipating not meeting up to your own preconceived expectations. But again, this skin concept was an entirely fan-made idea, and nobody has any right to treat the devs the way they have been over goddamn digital cosmetics. Hopefully this is falling on deaf ears, as I'm fairly certain most Syndra and Nami players and fellas who watch my videos are well aware of this fact, but I think it needs to be clarified nonetheless. Till next time though, fellas, hopefully we don't see a repeat controversy similar to this with the inevitable K-pop boy band that's coming out soon. Probably. So until next time then, I'll see you in the next video.